this baby. And the baby had a mom and a dad. And then the mom and the dad, they looked at each other and they said, ew, we don't like each other at all. So then the dad said, okay, I'll just go away then. And then the mom said to the dad's aunt, I hate to bother you, and I know you're a widow and you have 5 kids, but, this baby and we don't have any family here, and I was wondering, could I, rent a room in your house? And the aunt said, oh, sure, that would be fine. So the baby and the mom lived there. Now, to earn money, the aunt babysat kids during the day. Oh, the baby loved it. She'd wake up and the doorbell would ring and people would be dropping off babies and little kids. And then they'd go in the kitchen and they'd sit at the table on benches and they would have cocoa and toast when it was cold. And then at lunchtime they'd have soup and crackers. And then after lunch, they always had to lay down and take a nap. Now the aunt said, there's so many of you kids that what I'm going to do is I'm going to make each of you a blanket. And she'd take flannel and she'd put old blankets inside and then she'd sew up the edges and she'd tie yarn around inside the blanket to keep them together. And then she'd give them to all the little kids. Then the aunt got very, very old and then she died. And her daughter took all the stuff in the house and she divided it up between all her brothers and sisters. And then she said, if anybody else in the family wants to come in the house and look, and if there's something you want, you can have it. So the baby went to the house. But now she was bigger. And she was looking at all this stuff. And then she found one blanket that was left over from long ago. And the baby said, this is what I want. May I have this blanket? And they said, oh, sure, you can have that old blanket. We don't care about that old blanket. So she took it home. And she said, I think I want to make some blankets. And maybe I'll use cotton and make them real fluffy inside. And maybe I'll make fancy baby blankets. And then, when it's time for the church bazaar in the fall, I'll make lots and lots of blankets and they can sell them and they can keep the money. And some people, even today, still have one of those blankets.
La 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 la.
Wait, before you go, story.
About what?
Well, of your blanket, I guess you only got one, right?
I got one blanket. What, did some people get more than one?
Oh, yeah.
I just got one blanket, a t-shirt blanket.
What year did you get it?
Oh no, just my name. See, I have really worn it a lot. I mean, used it a lot. 1988 National Championship t-shirt. NBA champions the same year. I don't even think I worked for Coors when I had that one. So that was a Larco deal. When it was so hot and we went there with Seamus and your mom, it was like hot in Wichita. St. Jude's Children's Hospital, which I was very much involved in. This is a Michigan shirt. Don't know even why I had that one. Nostalgia for the Minnesota Golden Gophers.
Hello, Sky.
So I have had a lot of blankets over the years. Now, unfortunately, I only have 2 left. And the first one that I have left it's a really nice one. Soft on this side.
Soft.
I like the plaid. It's not too rough. Somewhere on one of the 4 corners, who it's to and the year that it was made. This one was really good, and it's been through washing machines and everything else, and it's lasted without one rip or anything on it. I've had a few other ones. I've had one that was so heavy, it was called the lead blanket. It was gray with black on the back, and it had like 5 blankets inside of it sewn, and so we called that one the lead blanket because it was so heavy. These sometimes wouldn't always cover the whole body, so your feet would hang out.
But that one's
For me, yeah, this one is a perfect size. But some of them in the early times that I would get wouldn't be long enough and my feet would hang out, and I had a problem with it. And she would give them to us every Christmas. So every Christmas we knew what we were getting. We were getting some sort of blanket.
It's just like Shailene. Oh my God.
Is it heavy enough?
I bet you mine's like that, but I bet you it is. Shailene. I bet mine's like that. But
Well, one Christmas I didn't get a blanket. Everyone else got blankets, and I saw everyone else opening blankets, but I didn't get a blanket. And so I think I made her feel guilty, so she made me one, and it was extra long, and that one said the guilt quilt embroidered on it. So the only other one that I have left
No.
is the one everyone hates. People hated this blanket for some reason.
I hate that one.
I don't.
See? And I don't know if it's because it's kind of itchy.
It is, it's so itchy.
So I always called this the itchy blanket. It just didn't,
Like that one.
I don't know the material. It seems to be a little bit more rough, where this is kind of smooth, and people didn't like this either.
It's perfect for
So
my
this
body.
one still looks brand new. I'm glad Emma likes it because none of the other kids ever liked it, and that's why it lasted as long as it did. This one never got peed on like other ones did. But I don't have any other blankets left. They've all been trashed by the washing machine from kids spilling stuff, eating stuff, had to wash them. The blanket that I did like the most though was the Grandma Grape shirt blanket. We took all of her shirts, all of her Mexico, Puerto Vallarta, all of those shirts, sweatshirts, t-shirts, made a blanket, and it smelled like my grandma for a long time.
If this was not itchy, I would use it.
You're more than welcome to use it if you want. Just wear long sleeves, because it's itchy. And that makes everyone bitchy.
Yeah, I'm already itchy, not because of this.
I'm telling you, it's the blanket. Just looking at it makes you want to itch, right?
Because I'm sick. Hello, leaves.
This is my shirt blanket. I don't know if any of you have ever seen it before, but some of these shirts might look familiar. I've had this blanket for probably almost 20 years now. I don't know when she was making these blankets, but it's old, and it's been with me to every city that I've ever lived in. I think the only time it ever was in a box was like when I lived in Minnesota for a little bit, and it stayed in a box. But other than that, it's been with me to every city that I've ever lived in. It went with me to Holland, it went with me to New York, to LA, here, San Jose, Minnesota, everywhere. And some of these shirts are a mix of mine, probably Shailene's, Seamus's, and Nick's. But most of them are mine. They might have been Seamus's at one time, and then they got passed down to me. But I almost remember what like every one of these shirts were from. Like a lot of them were stuff that Jason like went on a trip. Like this one, Jason went on a trip and he brought this shirt back for me. This was probably my dad's or Jason's or Shane's or something, and then it just got passed down to me. This was definitely my shirt. This one was mine. This one Jason got for me on a trip in Oklahoma. These are my favorite ones, these bright, vivid ones. I don't know where this Chicago one came from, but look how 90s that is. So 90s. That's kind of the theme of, I think, my blanket. What I really like about it, I mean, look at this. How more 90s can you get than this shirt blanket? I mean, like, really, look. I think I got the best one.
It doesn't matter what I say.
comes up from the floor. If I were to put this around me, it only comes up to about right here. If I were to be underneath this blanket now, so it doesn't really fit me anymore, but it's still just as comfortable as when I first got it.
Suck it in, suck it in, suck it in. If you're in Tintin or in Berlin, make it a spin move or else you'll win. And then begin to see what you're doing to me. This MTV is not for free. It's OPC is killing me. So desperately I'll sing the other love. Shove it off, so raging, hating, pain, and fear itself. And I can't keep these feelings on the shelf. I've tried, well, no doubt I lied. It'd be frank to suicide, but I got too much pride inside to hide or slide. I'll do as I'll decide and let it ride until I die. And only then shall I abide this lie to catch little tunes.
One day I was working with a friend of mine named Kevin, and Kevin had this blanket that his cousin's wife had made for him, and I saw it and I thought, wow, that's really a nice blanket. We talked about it a little bit, but I didn't really think much about it. About a week or so later, Kevin had a blanket for me made by Rachel. And I thought, wow, this is really cool. Kevin showed me the part of the blanket here where she had stitched my last name on it, Johnson, on the corner of it. The fact that it's a great looking blanket and it kind of meets my wife's approval. It matches the things that it's supposed to match. It's soft, it's comfortable. But it was given to me by somebody out of her kindness and generosity. She made a blanket for me. And what an incredibly thoughtful gift that's lasted a long period of time that I still have today. Not expecting anything in return, but giving out of our heart and out of our kindness as Jesus did. And so it's just ironic that he talked about something that I think...
I'm looking for a blanket that was given to me on my 38th birthday, which would have been 24 years ago. And I just can't find it. I have no idea where it is. I wonder if it's up on that ledge. I don't know. I just don't see it anywhere. Abby, do you know where that blanket is? I'm looking for it. I've been looking for it all evening. It's the one I got for my 38th birthday. You weren't around then, but I think you might know where it is. Like maybe you lay on it or chew it or something. Do you have any idea? Did you just want to go lay down? All right, go ahead. Go lay down.